everyone, it's Derin here. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're a new viewer, welcome to my channel. For anyone who's new, my name is Derin and I am a third year public relations and communication student at UAL. And yeah, I basically just make a ton of uni, revision and lifestyle videos on this channel. So if you guys would like to see more videos like that, especially if you're preparing for university, then definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and turn on my post notifications. But yeah, as you can see from the title, today's video is going to be a university Q&A, which has honestly been such a highly requested video. I asked you guys over on my Instagram to send in any questions that you have, and honestly I was quite overwhelmed with the response, but for the sake of timing for today's video, I've only picked the most frequently asked questions. We're covering things from freshers to making new friends, money, budgeting, the whole lot. Trust me guys, I've got you all covered. Before getting started with today's video, however, I quickly wanted to share something which is super exciting because I've actually teamed up with IQ to share a really cool competition. So for anyone who doesn't know about IQ already, even though I'm pretty sure most of you guys do, they are an incredible accommodation with more than 50 locations in over 26 university cities, which is amazing. What I love about IQ accommodation is that it's so much more than just a uni accommodation. It essentially provides like a home away from home, and they have such an amazing community. But what I'm actually here to talk to you guys about is their Room Girls competition, which I'm so excited to be sharing with you guys. So yeah, this competition offers IQ students the opportunity to win one of these incredible items. I was actually invited to see the items in person, and can I just say, they are all incredible. My favourite item in particular out of this list is the music speaker, because for university I feel like having a speaker is such an essential. You can have music playing whilst you're tidying up your room, whilst you're in the shower, whilst you're doing homework, whatever it may be. And the one which is listed in this competition is such amazing quality. So yeah, if any of you guys would like to enter this competition, it's super easy. I'm gonna pop the details down below in the description box for you guys to enter. So yeah, good luck to all of you guys entering, and thank you to IQ for partnering with me on this. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump straight into today's video. Okay, so the first topic I'm going to be addressing in today's video is like the whole start of university and like moving in, meeting new people, etc. So I'd say out of all of the questions, probably the most asked one I got was how to make friends at university, or a lot of you guys saying that you're worried about making friends at university. And so the first thing that I want to say about this is that literally everyone is going to be in the exact same boat as you. No matter how confident people appear, it is so natural for you to feel a bit shy and anxious about meeting new people and making friends. But yeah, I really want to reassure you guys that there's nothing to worry about. You are going to make friends at university. What you're feeling right now is completely normal. I think one thing that I noticed about making friends at the start of university is that everyone is waiting for the other person to make the first move. So if you can kind of just put on a mask of confidence and be that person to initiate a conversation, I can guarantee that the conversation from there is probably going to flow really well, because the other person was just waiting for you to do that. And again, vice versa. That's why I say it's good to make yourself approachable so that someone else who's thinking that can come over to you. The next question in today's video is about halls, and a lot of you guys asked me how to deal with like the shared spaces in halls, so whether or not that be a shared kitchen or a shared bathroom. I was fortunate enough to have an ensuite, which I'm so grateful about. But that being said, I shared a kitchen with I think 8 people. So what I'd say about dealing with shared spaces is that communication is key. When you move into your flat, I'd strongly encourage you guys to make a flat group chat, and this is something which I really recommend because it just allows you guys to have that chat, raise any issues or bring up anything, and yeah, just kind of keep the peace that way. But yeah, I feel like the best way for things to really run smoothly and for there to be like no hard feelings or anyone taking anything personally is if you actually are friends with your flatmates. And a great way to become friends with your flatmates is once they've moved in, have a knock on their door, introduce yourself and just kind of have a chat and go from there. And then hopefully once everyone in your flat has moved in, you guys can all go out for like a flat dinner or go to the pub, whatever floats your boat, and yeah, just become friends with your flatmates. It honestly goes such a long way. The final question in this topic of like starting at university, moving into halls, all of that jazz, is how to deal with homesickness at university. And in my last upload, I believe, I went into detail about how decorating your room with pictures is super important. Bringing family ornaments, whatever it is that reminds you of home, is something which I strongly recommend. But another thing that I really want to put out there is something which I feel like is so overlooked but is so effective, and that is literally FaceTime. I probably FaceTimed my parents like 1 to 2 times a day when I first moved in. Probably sounds a bit excessive, but I'm super close with them. So for me, I found that that was a really great way for me to battle with homesickness. Another thing which can be really good is to book your return ticket in advance, so that when you start at university you know the date when you're going home, because that can kind of give you something to look forward to. Okay, so now we're on to the topic of freshers, which again was something which a lot of you guys asked me to talk about. So if you guys are new to my channel and you haven't already watched this video, I actually made a Freshers Week survival guide video on my channel last year, which I watched back the other day and genuinely feel covers everything that I was going to talk about in today's video. So if you guys haven't watched that, I'm going to have that link down below. I strongly recommend it. So after this video you guys can watch that to get a more in-depth discussion of Freshers Week. But in terms of like the things in general, a big question is how much should you budget for Freshers Week, particularly in London, which is where I study, and so obviously I know how expensive it can be. So what I say about Freshers Week is that it's honestly quite difficult to budget for it. All I can say is that it's going to be a significantly larger amount of money that you'd usually spend at university. So at the end of Freshers Week, when you're looking at your statement, don't be too alarmed, because it's literally like an anomaly in what your usual spending is going to look like. I'd say the more money you can budget for it, the better, because it's always better to overestimate than to underestimate and then end up spending more. So yeah, I'd say the most you're able to financially budget for it, the better. But also, like, don't stress about it too much, because Freshers Week is designed for students, so naturally things are a lot cheaper than like a normal night out in a general club. But if you want to try and maximize your money saving, then I'd say with tickets, try and buy early bird tickets and first release tickets, because they are usually cheaper. And with drinking, make the most of pre-drinking before you actually go out, because it means that you're going to spend less money when you actually get to the club or the event. And also, when you're traveling to and from freshers events, try and travel in a big group, because it means that if you're getting like an Uber or a cab, you can split that fare between all of you guys and it works out cheaper than if you were going with just like one or two other people. And it's also a lot safer as well, so yeah, strongly recommend that. On the topic of money, we're now onto the next section, because a lot of you guys have been asking me tons of things about budgeting, getting jobs. So in terms of general budgeting for university, one thing to obviously bear in mind is that we all have different financial backgrounds. So I'm not going to come out here and say like X amount is the perfect amount to budget per week, because this figure is going to differ amongst so many different people. That being said, I feel like a common source of income for university students is student loan. So my best piece of advice for a student loan is to basically see the amount of loan that you're receiving per term and then divide it by the number of weeks in that term. See how much budget that stretches for each week. If you find that that amount is enough, then great. If you find that that amount isn't enough, then you might find that you want to get a part-time job or a paid internship, whatever. In terms of budgeting, I feel like you genuinely won't know what the right amount is until you have a few weeks at university where you're able to see how much you're spending and see the prices of things and kind of go from there. So I'd say that when you start at university, don't stress too much about budgeting for like the first couple of weeks, but just kind of keep track of everything, see the prices of things, see how much you're spending on food, for example, and little things here and there, and then eventually sit down and be like, okay, I think that I'm gonna be fine if I live off X amount each week, so this is how much money I need to allocate. Or okay, I only have X amount to last me, so I'm gonna need to find a way to make more money, and then you can look for a part-time job or a paid internship, whatever. So then in terms of jobs or internships, if you choose to get one, a lot of you guys have asked me if it's possible to balance that alongside university. And again, as I've said with like my previous tip, before jumping into a job or an internship, I'd say settle in first and see how you're managing your timetable and see how you're managing, oh my god, a bee nearly flew into my room. Wow. Just see how you're managing things, and then from there you can have an honest chat with yourself and be like, okay, I think I can work X amount of days without it affecting my university work, or maybe I should only do 1 day a week to start off with and then kind of go from there. But yeah, it is definitely possible to balance a part-time job or an internship with university. It's all about just being honest with yourself and being strict with your time management and always prioritizing university first, because ultimately we're at university to study. So the worst thing that you could do is like sacrifice your grades and like your attendance for the sake of a job, because we're literally at university for our grades, you know what I mean? Food shopping is actually something that came up under this category. A lot of you guys were asking me like, how should I do my food shops at university? My general tip for food shopping at university is to be very, very wary of expiration dates and ensuring that you're not buying too much food with short expiration dates, because it's likely that it's going to expire before you get the chance to eat it, so it's a waste of money. What I actually stick to is buying my food like on the day, which sounds a bit weird, but I feel really works for me. So if I know that for dinner I want to make lasagna, for example, I will buy the ingredients for that lasagna on the day because I know that I'm actually going to be eating it and it's not going to go to waste. I feel like because a lot of university halls have supermarkets super nearby, this is a really viable option. Obviously, I know a lot of people like to do bulk food shops because it can work out cheaper. But yeah, I just say experiment with it and figure out which one works for you. Now on to the final topic, which I'm going to be discussing in today's video. It's all about workload and actual like studying aside to university, since you know that's what we're here for. So a lot of you guys have asked me how to deal with workload at university and balance it with like your social life. And so again, it kind of links to what I was saying about balancing a job in university. It's all about prioritizing and being really strict with time management. I'm super bummed out right now because I've already packed it in my suitcase, but I was literally just about to plug my friend Jack Edwards' academic planner, because having a planner to help you organize everything is such a great way to keep on top of things at university, and it's something which I strongly recommend. Oh my god, I'm so annoyed that I don't have it here. Okay, I'm gonna pop it on screen here. But yeah, he's released such an amazing planner and I love how it's laid out and organized, so I strongly recommend you guys check that out. And Jack, I'm so proud of you. So yeah, I'd say just keep organized, be good with time management, be honest with yourself, and just make sure that your priorities are in check. A lot of you guys have also asked me how important attendance is, and I would say just get in the mindset that it's very important. Try your absolute hardest to maintain full attendance. Obviously, I know that's quite like bit of a stretch, but if you can, I would strongly recommend it. But also say try to not get into the habit of like relying on catch-up lectures if you choose to not go in, because from my experience I find that even if you don't want to go to a lecture, just sitting there and like not even writing anything, but just sitting there and listening to what your lecturer is saying really does go a long way. Whereas if you want to catch up on a lecture at home, a lot more work goes into it, and so I feel like it just makes more sense to go to a lecture. Obviously, if you're ill, just make sure that you've emailed your lecturer or your tutor so that they know and they're fully aware that is the reason why. But other than that, guys, just go to your lectures. And then on to the final question for today's video. It is, how seriously should you take first year? And this is a really good question, I feel, because obviously, as we all know, the first year of university is the least serious year, simply because it contributes the least out of university, so you can kind of get away with a lot more. Like at my university, for example, it didn't even count whatsoever. For some universities it's 10% or 5%, but yeah, generally it's not that serious of a year. That being said, I'd say that you should still try your hardest academically, because you want to try and do it as well as possible. But then on the flip side of things, what I also want to say is that don't put too much pressure on yourself, because as we've acknowledged, it's not like that deep of a year. Like, don't beat yourself up about something if you wasn't able to get a top grade, because it probably doesn't matter that much. In terms of the social aspect of first year, I'd say you should definitely make the most of it, because first year is honestly the best time because you don't really have that many responsibilities. You can really make the most of going out, meeting new people, and just kind of like living your best life. So yeah, I'd say that if this was the scale of first year and this was like socializing, like having fun, and this is like academics, we're gonna do it like that. So it's not like too uneven, it's kind of still even, but yeah, just kind of have fun, live your best life, and enjoy and make the most of first year. Also make sure that you're staying in check academically with everything on that side. And yeah, you should have a really great first year. And I believe, guys, that is the end of today's video, and the sun has come out. Wow. So yeah, that is the end of today's video, where I have hopefully answered most of your frequently asked questions to do with university. If you guys enjoyed watching today's video, I'd love if you could let me know by hitting the thumbs up button and leaving a comment down below. For anyone that's new, as I've said, I'd love if you could hit the subscribe button down below, and if you'd like to stay updated with my uploads, then you can click the bell to turn on my post notifications. But yeah, that is all from me for today's video. I'm wishing you guys all the very best with university. I know a lot of you guys will probably be moving in the weekend I upload this, so I hope everything is going well, and I'm so excited for all of you guys. But yeah, that's all from me for today. Thank you guys so much once again for watching, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye!